Do any of y'all know how many people, how many lives are lost on our highways due to poor roads and bridges and poor infrastructure? Dr. Bowser? I mean, we heard that 4,000 are caused by it.
Well, there's a 4,000 some that are killed every year in truck-related crashes, and some 49,000.
Substandard roadways, any idea? I'm just curious because that's our job to make sure that the roads are safe. I don't know, Mr. Miranda. I mean, you believe that our roadways, especially the federal roadways, are in A+ shape?
Your answer to that is no, sir.
That's absurd. And the fact that we can't even do our job, but yet now we want to regulate your business as well and tell you how you have to drive safer, but we can't provide a transportation system that is at least A or B quality.
I would tend to agree with you, Mr. Landry. Matter of fact, I would comment to that is that of those 4,000, nobody's taken into account how many of those accidents were the primary cause of collision factor, would be road conditions or weather conditions.
Right. Now let me ask you, do you have an onboard recorder on, how many trucks do you have?
I have 3 trucks that run under my authority, sir.
Do you have any onboard recorders?
No, sir. I couldn't afford it. If I had to put those on today, I would close my doors.
Oh, no. Well,
I'm trying to figure out where Mr. Tucker sees this great economy, because maybe the brokers are taking and put it in their pocket, but it ain't coming to the drivers. I'll tell you that much.
So you basically saying that if you were mandated to put those recorders on, you'd probably have to close the door?
No, there's no fact. I would close my door, sir.
You would close your door.
Right now, I'm running on about a 7% profit margin.
So, and you said 3 trucks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you're the boss over those 3 trucks, right?
I don't know if I'd consider myself the boss, but I'm in charge.
You're in charge of them, and so when you give an order that those drivers are supposed to implement that order, you said you were in law enforcement, right? Is that right?
I've been in law enforcement, yes, sir.
Work for the sheriff's office or police, municipal?
I worked for the LA County Sheriff's Office. I also worked for the Oakland Housing Authority.
Now, when the sheriff put down a policy or he said, this is the way I want it done, what would happen if y'all deputies didn't follow his command?
Normally, you got some days on the beach or you got fired, or both.
So the President of the United States says that he doesn't like you. He agrees with you. He thinks that you can't afford those onboard recorders, but yet the person who works for him says that regardless of what the president says, we're going to put those in your truck. I mean, does that seem counterintuitive to the way chain of command works?
It seems very counterintuitive to me, sir.
Well, here's what I don't understand. Let me ask you a question. If we mandate this, how many more businesses like yourself you think are going to close?
My opinion, or what can I state as a fact?
Well, I mean, give me your opinion.
My opinion is I would say probably you take almost any trucking company below 10, and they're probably going to be out of business within 30 to 90 days.
And then so, but I mean, the transportation industry won't come to a grinding halt. What would it look like?
J.B. Hunt, Schneider, Swift, U.S. Express, Covenant, that kind of company.
And then so basically, basically this regulation will force you out of business and into the hands of a major corporation.
Yes, sir.
That's what they would deliver you to.
Yes, sir.
That's not the American way, huh?
It's not what I fought in the trenches for. It's not what I went to war for when I joined the Army.
Oh, and you in the Army too, then?
Yes, sir.
And so when the general put down an edict, or he gave an order, Mr. West is a great American. He served as well. I did as well in uniform, and I know when they told us something that normally that means that
was the marching order. I didn't get to think about it. I just did it.
Right. Unless there was something, that was just unethical or immoral. Or,
no, I never did anything morally interpreted.
Right,
sir.
but you wouldn't take an order that would put your life in danger.
Sir, I took orders that put my life in danger,
well,
but I would not.
But I mean, in other words, an order that you felt that
went against my beliefs. No, sir.
Right. So evidently, maybe the director doesn't believe what the president says, and maybe in his heart, he just wants to see y'all spend another $2 billion implementing this regulation and driving you out of business.
I'm not sure if he's trying to drive us out of business, but I don't think he's ever been in behind the wheel of a truck, and I think I'd like to invite him to come on out. I'm sure if I couldn't put him in one of my trucks, I'm sure one of the members of OIDA would be more than happy to take him for a ride and show him the realistic world of truck driving.
Thank you.